These days, I find myself more and more returning back to reread books that I've already read. I have just found that over the years, there are certain books that I keep thinking about that have stood the test of time. And one of them for me is a book I now read about 3 times a year. It's called The Prophetic Imagination by Walter Brueggemann. This is the 40th anniversary edition. This book has been around for a while, but I absolutely love this book. And I just finished my 9th read through of it. And something stood out to me that actually I had not yet highlighted in the other 8 read-throughs of this book that I just thought was such a good thought for us to consider. Here's what Walter Brueggemann says. It says, thus the teaching presumed a contrast between that to which we cling and a future for which we yearn. The ministry of Jesus happens in the space between the clinging and the yearning. If there is only clinging, then the words are only critical. But if there is yearning, there is a chance that the words are energizing. The staggering works of Jesus, feeding, healing, casting out, forgiving, happened not to those who held on to the old order, but to those who yearned because the old order had failed them or squeezed them out. I absolutely love this idea, this contrast between clinging to what we have and yearning for something else. Now, the reality is we cling to what we have when it serves us well. The systems, the things that are comfortable, these become our security. We put confidence in them. We can even have certainty in these things. And it often, as Brueggemann notes, the same system that can benefit us can squeeze other people out. And Jesus is always found with them, with the people who are marginalized and vulnerable. And so this is a challenge for all of us, myself included, to battle this, to say, what am I clinging to because I like it and it works for me? And where am I yearning for what Jesus wants to do next? And I think we see this with the way we do church and what we think is the right way to do church, the way we view culture, what is normal in culture, what should be normal, even the way we understand the laws that we have, the laws that we maybe don't agree with, don't support, or the ones that we think are great, or the ones we wish would come into existence. All of this is based on clinging to something and yet yearning for something else. And yet the reality is, if we are clinging to the old, I think Brueggemann is making this point, that we will miss the new that Jesus is bringing. And so if you want to experience all that Jesus is doing around you, the best way to do that is to yearn for something new, not to be complacent, not to be comfortable, not to say, well, this has always worked for us, but to say, Jesus, what do you want to do now? I'm open to that, and it may not benefit me the way this other thing has benefited me, but this is always the way that Jesus works. There's always something new. And so this is a challenge for you and I to let go of the things that are comfortable and to say yes to something new.